Healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lady Journey. It's so amazing to be here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's we're almost into a year.
It's been 9 months, so this is now our daughter or son. We have not assigned
No gender
to it, because as we found out when we started the show, we called it Lady Journey, but then we realized
men like it too.
Yeah, and so then we did mental gymnastics of saying it's the journey of the inner feminine. It's not just for women. We have choreographed a full routine in our mind. So
Yes.
it is any kind of journey.
It's however you want it.
I'm on a little bit of I told you I wanted to talk about this. I'm doing a volume journey.
What are you doing?
So this is what I've read. I've been researching scrubbing the internet. That's not the right word. That's when you remove stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been scouring. That's what I meant. So I have a volume shampoo now, which I used to only use moisturizing. Because when I had long hair, I got traumatized because I would have frizz. I would have insane frizz. So then I only used damaged moisturizing shampoo forever. So I've gone full volume. I've been doing my mousse. Which mousse, I have to say, I did not realize how it is a blessing and a curse, because I put in a lot. I think here I'm getting it and I'm wiping it all the way down, but then my hair is big here on the sides, and it's that's not what I'm getting a carrot top kind of.
I get so nervous with mousse because I feel like every time that I've used it, thinking well, I saw them do it in the hair salon.
Yeah.
Let me do it. I put it on. I'm either crunchy.
Yes.
Or if there's any kind of moisture in the air, it will get attracted and clump up my hair.
That's hilarious. Clumpy hair that is not a good sign. That's not a good look. It's did a bird poop on you?
I know. I'm I'd rather just have natural hair.
Yeah.
Because it's just some products, I got a salt spray and it was working for a while, and then I swear to God, I feel like the product that I was buying, the Bumble and Bumble, they changed formulas.
Oh, they probably did.
Or I bought it off of Amazon. You're maybe this is a fraud private buyer seller, and they're just selling me salt water, that they made in their kitchen.
It's from China, and it's just a weird chemical that's causing you cancer. It's who knows?
Yes, that I spent $30 on, and so I have just lost all faith in anything.
Products are tricky, and then you want you don't want frizz, so you have to use a smoother, but you want volume, so you have to use a voluminizer. One thing I did read, this is probably the most helpful one, was hairspray just the crown of your head.
Okay.
So which is great because it's and now it's completely on my forehead. It's it's fully, I just have pimples, a crown of pimples. It's like Jesus, young Jesus. But they said just spray the crown and then massage it in this, and it gives it.
It's volume.
That did. I can't tell if that did anything at all. But I did go finally back to go back to my Nanad at the Art Room Hair Spa in Astoria, and I cannot tell you, he is so good.
All right, I'm gonna go because my hairdresser has moved on. This is the second hairdresser I've lost in New York.
Oh my God, you have to go to Nanad, and I'd have to tell you, it is only $60.
Okay, that's a good deal.
After these places, I was like, I'll shell out, and I'm but my hair still looks like shit.
Yeah,
I'm just paying more to have a bad haircut.
No, I'm going in. I'm spending almost $500 every time I go in because I get highlights or some light coloring. But you're just I can't afford this. As amongst the other things, something's got to give when I spend that much money.
It's like your rent.
Yeah,
you're putting rent on your hair.
It is. Yeah.
I wanted to welcome we have a wonderful new Patreon sponsor, and we're thrilled to recommend her. And I'll let you do the dedication since this is where did you say you got this stone?
This one I got in Montana. We were walking. I love when there's a price tag on a walk. It's so funny.
I found it in nature, in a shop that was right in nature.
I got this. I walked I saw a stone store, whatever you call it, crystals.
Yeah, I think it's called a magic parlor.
A magic parlor.
A magic castle.
And I was like, oh, I will get rocks this time.
Yes.
So I found this little Betty. It's like a fossil. So it's called
Gorgeous.
ammonite. And let me read off what it does. And I have big hopes for it.
Yes.
So whoever gets this.
It's going to be Kate.
It's Kate.
Kate, who actually joined a while ago, and we have been meaning to do this one. So thank you for your patronage, Kate.
Yes. So Ammonite, Aquarius, all chakras. I don't know what all this means. Helps relaxation and depression. Good for birthing rooms. Gives stability and structure in one's life, and is a protection stone. Treats degenerative diseases. It's all over the place.
Oh my gosh, Ammonite, this is a cure-all.
Am I right?
You had me at helps with emotional instability.
I think that's what I was drawn to about it.
Is this going to make it better? So Kate, enjoy it, and thank you again.
Pretty exciting.
And remember, you can receive your own stone dedication right here on Lady Journey from a collection of stones that we have either newly purchased or that we've been hoarding ever since I began collecting stones as a teenage girl, thinking I was doing spells in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And now we have a really a special guest. We did an interview this session.
Yeah, this one was really fun. We found, you did stand up with him, right?
Actually, we're doing rosebuds. That's okay. We're doing no, pay no attention. Nothing to see here.
Guys, it's okay to make mistakes.
It is. Oh my God, we all do.
Yeah.
We have so many.
We had the wonderful Rosebud Baker.
She's our friend, our girlfriend, and we've known her for
like 10 years.
Long time. I remember when I met Rosebud. I immediately was drawn to her. She has an incredible, friendly energy, and she had Great style. She had a gorgeous little short haircut. I remember. And you meet somebody named Rosebud, you're like, you're quirky. Okay.
I always feel like they live up to their name.
They do.
They're always a rosebud.
Rosebud. It's like hop aboard the rom-com express, okay? And Rosebud now, she writes for Saturday Night Live. She wrote for That Damn Michael Che. She's been in Amy Schumer's TV show, which is Life and Beth. And
or is it Life After Beth?
I have no idea. Never saw it, but I will watch it, Amy.
Yes.
If you're listening, I'm going to watch it as soon as I get Hulu. And Rosebud also, she's an incredible comic, and please do check out her special. It is on the Comedy Central YouTube page. Whiskey Fist, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, very smart, very funny.
Edgy, and it's raw, and I just love it. Yeah. So everybody, please enjoy Rosebud Baker.
No. Okay. I just activate it whenever I want and say now, just so you know, watch what you say, because we tag people.
And we use it against you.
Okay, perfect. I love gotcha journalism.
Yeah, it's like Scientology in a way. We're like, who do you hate?
They're like, oh, wait just a second. We have to clip your finger with this blood. Whatever.
Just taking your blood. No big deal. Lady Journey.
No, but I think that Lewinsky should be honored. I mean, listen,
I'd be honored.
I can't tell her how to feel, but if Beyonce was talking shit about me, I'd be like, I'm in a great place.
She's thinking about me, and that's nice.
She knows who I am, and that's a fucking honor.
I wish Beyonce would talk shit about me and be like, oh, you little nerd, you know?
Yeah.
Get some Botox, scrape it together and get some Botox.
Empty your piggy bank and go get some. I would love to go pay for Botox with my piggy bank.
Oh, hilarious. Oh, yeah. Showing up. Hi. I need some rolls. Do you have any rolls for?
This is all I've got. Can I just get like one side done?
Yeah. Just dump change onto my dermatologist.
You can only afford Bell's palsy. Oh, well, welcome to Lady Journey, and welcome Rosebud. You're our girlfriend. We've known you forever, and
I love you guys.
We love you, and
we love you.
You're so amazing, and you're skyrocketing. You're writing on SNL now. What's it like? What's it like getting successful?
Oh my God. I wish I could say a good thing, but the truth is, like, it also sucks. It all sucks. Yeah. It's like, it's so, I was literally just telling you guys this before we started recording, but I was at a big festival this weekend that, like, I used to be dying to get into. Like, I would have, like, blown someone to get into this festival. And then I went back and was doing all these shows and had all this stuff going on. And I was like, I'm fucking miserable. I'm like, it feels more and more like this is my job. And so it sucks, you know?
Yeah.
Like whoever said like, you do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Like that person did not work.
Yeah. Or like now you love like just staying home.
Yes.
And or like getting a coffee. Like,
oh my God. Yeah.
Not a job.
I like just running errands.
I know. I'm like, that sounds like vacation. I'm like, I came back home and I was like laying around on the couch and I felt fucking great.
Yeah. Errands are like my best day now. Like I started doing errands on Fridays and I'll be like, oh my God, I have no energy. I can't work. And as soon as I'm like, I think I need to run to Bed Bath & Beyond, I just like sit bolt upright and I'm like, oh, wow, I'm feeling a surge. I'm feeling a surge of energy to run to Bed Bath & Beyond and see if there's any new towels.
I know. I want so badly. I can't tell you how much time I spend on Cherish, the online antiquing site.
Oh, tell us about Cherish. I've never heard of this. I've never.
Oh my God, you guys haven't heard of it?
Okay. Very lady journey. We love it.
I wrote it down.
It's spelled chair, like a chair that you sit in.
I'm already off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got to tell people that because if they look for Cherish, they just find some fucked up movie.
Just religious.
Yes. Yeah. But I've been finding all these like antique lamps. Like I bought this like lamp for my kitchen and like I got a new lamp in my living room right now and one for the bedroom. And you see my hanging lamp over here. I got a nice cane hanging lamp. I am like obsessed with looking up online antiques and ordering them to my home and not having to leave the house for them. But I spend hours and there's multiple folders I have of different designers. I downloaded a interior decorating app called Spoke. It's like a program.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is a world I'm lost in because I do like good design, but I don't know even how to attempt it.
Oh my gosh. It
gets overwhelming because you're like, well, I like that style, but then you're like, but I like that style. And then you're buying everything and then you change your mind and you're like, this is not what I wanted. It's just like overwhelming.
Like 4 different styles and you're like, none of this goes together.
Yeah. You have like a Parisian rug and then like a modern couch. And it's like, what is it? It looks like a time machine vomited in my living room.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I just live in a flea market now.
Yeah.
Like that's,
yeah.
But I've gotten so into it because I'm like, you know, you can find different ways to like make shit work together, especially now, because that's like what people are doing. And although I did see an article that was like, is the accent wall dead? And I had a real panic attack about that.
Absolutely. You don't want to be looking like a fool with an accent wall.
I was like, wait, I just got one. Like, what the fuck? So my accent wall is garbage, apparently. But
is it wallpaper or a paint job?
I think so. People are either doing full wallpaper, which is insane if you ask me.
Insane.
Or they're doing like a full paint job and then doing like one wall where they do like an arc in a different color.
Gotcha.
And then hanging like a painting over it or putting like their headboard there or all kinds of shit like that. But people are getting wild out here. Yeah. Okay. And
full
it's
wallpaper. It's like, what? That's crazy. I feel like it would give me ADD to have full wallpaper. It's so busy.
I don't know, but I love it. I love ornate. Like when what's that? Like when you go to I think it's the Met and they have some of those rooms that are designed how like Versailles is. You're just like, I love the,
yeah. Well, it's all based off of like European interior decorating. It's all like London, Britain, that kind of like, it's all built off of that. And I think it's like spread to the US. It really is kind of, I think interior design is like astrology for 30-year-olds. Astrology for like 30 and 40-year-old. We really just get into it in a way that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, no, Rosebud, I remember when you moved into your place, you were saying your mom came and she was helping you with colors because isn't she a painter or something?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that process like? Like, how does she help you pick colors that go together?
Okay, so painters, I did not realize how much you need someone who understands color, because I'll look at something and be like, that's red. And my mom will be like, no, that's actually pink. And
yeah, and they can,
mind,
well, they can tell undertone too, where they're like, it's got a blue, and you're like, what? I don't know where you're seeing this. So that's where I feel like it is astrology. We're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a Scorpio moon.
You have to be able to. It really is like, you need like a specialist to come and like show you what you don't know.
Yeah.
So she'll help me, like she helped me pick out some stuff, but like the other thing is I didn't want it to look like she designed it. So now I've spent enough time in my space where I'm like, I see what mistakes I made and I'm trying to like fix those, but it's so expensive. Because you make these big choices and you're like, oh, fuck. So you have to, and that's where Cherish comes in, because I sell all my shit on there and then I buy new shit with the stuff that I sold.
Oh, that makes sense. I just did Facebook Marketplace recently. I had sold a table and I made decent money, but I was like, is this worth it? The lady was like, I'm going to be there at 7, and she didn't show up till 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. People can be unreliable on that too. I was getting rid of, when I was moving out of Mike and Dan's place, I was getting rid of some stuff on Craigslist. And I mean, it was like, I had a guy come pick up the couch. He picked up half the couch and then he said he was going to drive it back. And then he called me and said, my wife doesn't like the couch. And then we just had half of a couch. It was like, okay, I guess I got rid of half of it. I don't know. Like what?
Oh my God.
I was like, you didn't run it by your wife, first of all. No. Like, I am on her side.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Like if Andy was driving home with a couch that he hadn't ever shown me, I'd be like, what?
Don't know. I got a couch. You're like,
I'm
what?
like, oh, good. Find an apartment to put it in.
Yeah. Well, that's a boundary that's crossed. That's a red flag.
It's a red flag in your relationship. Your husband comes home with a couch. Why? We have a couch.
Huge. I think probably some of the biggest fights I've ever had with Andy have been about him trying, not even making design decisions, but like having an idea and then like putting it out there to me and me being like, that's not the arrangement that we made. You know, like I'm like, no, I make the decisions about the design. And they could be good too. And I'm just like, no, like I don't want him to plan it.
It gets too convoluted with two people planning stuff.
Well, it's like you have all this nice stuff and then they want to put a fucking movie poster like Caddyshack or something. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guys have like a different aesthetic than girls too. It feels like some guys, it's like dormitory chic. And you're like, no.
Yes. It's bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. They'll be like, oh yeah, I got this awesome poster. And then they'll put it on the wall with like a tack. And I'm like, you're not even going to frame it like a fucking adult. They're just, they put it up like a map, like they're planning a murder or something.
Yeah.
I did mind-boggling.
It is. I did a bad fashion mistake right when I moved in that I'm actively trying to fix now, is that we bought a loud rug. Because I thought like this rug is, oh my gosh, like a loud piece in the center of the room. And every time I look at it, I'm like, this rug looks so ugly.
Can we see it?
I don't want to take the computer in there because it's attached. My microphone's on my desk here, but I'm going to drop a picture of it in the chat if I can.
I was wondering if it was something that you could like pivot and show us, but.
Oh yeah. Cause I'm in the other room. I'm in the bedroom.
You could tone it down maybe by putting other people layer rugs on top of rugs.
Double rug.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless
if it's a shag, then that's not an option. But if it's like an Oriental, you could put like a hide rug over it. Like,
it is an Oriental rug, which it feels wrong to say that word. That's the technical term for those type of rugs.
It is,
but it feels like it, you're like, when is that going to go out of style?
You feel like your mom.
Right. Yeah. You're like,
mom. You can't say Oriental.
I know. even if it's like, that's the thing that they put it under on Wayfair, I can't. Yeah. Okay. But I also have a very loud rug, and by that I mean Oriental. And
they're so loud.
and it's in a room where I have to have 2 rugs. So I have no idea what to pair it with.
Yeah.
Because the other option is like, I'm just trying to neutralize the space because like it's the most expensive thing I own.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to make this rug work, and I have to make it work however I can. So I'm just trying to find as many neutrals as possible to like tone everything down.
Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. I just need to go deeper into the neutrals because I don't know that I have the stamina, the emotional stamina to like list the rug and like deal with somebody selling it. So that is, I've kind of been trying to just only do neutrals, and it's okay. It's better now, but it's still
right. It takes some time. There's one joke, I think this is yours, Sarah, where it was like a joke that I don't know if you still do it, but it was like about how like you weren't prepared to, you moved in with Joe and you don't like having all of his stuff around. Like it was like, I forget the joke.
It's all his stuff.
Yeah. Do you remember it? It was like, I don't like, it's
was it minimalism? And you were like, I love getting rid of his stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Throw away the stuff that doesn't bring you joy. And you're like, it's all of his stuff. Like,
yes.
None of it brings me joy. Because he's just got mental issues that I have to deal with. And I usually, of all the things to deal with, I'm like, he's not a habitual porn watcher and he's so nice. And I love hanging out with him that I'm like, I will deal with the mental illness in our home.
Yes.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, sometimes I'm like, I would really like to have a space that feels like mine. And I kind of have one down here, but he slowly has a thing about buying tons of wall art, and it's slowly taking over everything.
The walls are literally closing in on you. It's just poster after poster.
Well, he wants to frame every Rolling Stone cover that comes out.
Oh no.
I mean, when I first dated him, he had every guy friend comics headshot framed on his wall.
Oh no.
So we'd be making out and there'd just be like Nick DiPaolo's head.
But I will say though, like, you're like, that's a red flag because it's like a lot of photos, but then you're like, but he framed them. So green flag.
And he took the initiative to hang it up. Like he's not messy. It's just like, he makes the most money, so he buys the most shit. So then when you're wanting to make the most perfect place, you're taking your time. And then the person that's just like out of control with the most money is just like beating you to everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I started dating Mike, he had in his room, a Scarface poster framed on the wall.
No.
He didn't move it. He did not move it to the new place.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Thank God. How long had that been up there?
I think it had been, he lived in that apartment for like 10 years. So it had been there a while.
Yeah.
But
I think I'd rather have a blacklight poster than a Scarface poster.
Yeah. I'd definitely rather have like a lava lamp.
A beaded curtain. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Beaded curtain, lava lamp. I mean, just make it look like the ladies' man sketch. Like, just fucking.
At least it's concise. Man. It's got, there's some kind of taste going on, but like just having a random Scarface poster and then like, IKEA furniture that's gone through 5 moves that you're like, this is not an aesthetic. I'm sorry, but this is the most depressing place I've ever been in.
I know everything wobbles, everything like every drawer has like a loose knob,
I know. I remember back when I was in Indiana, the aesthetic of like the cement block with like the wooden plank, like entertainment system.
Yeah.
DIY.
Right. Or they'd have like a chest that looked like it belonged to a pirate and they'd put a TV on top of it.
Yes. Although I love a trunk. I would love it to get like a little cedar chest in here. I think it would be so cute, but it can be cute.
It can be like farmhouse chic.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Although I would like to have like a modern contemporary look,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this is to say, like, I prefer everything that we're talking about right now to anything having to do with comedy ever.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ever.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's important to have a little boundary between your career that you're putting everything into and then also the things that are fun in your life. It's like self-care.
Yeah.
It's self-care to not work and do things that are fun and ridiculous, like going on Cherish.
Yeah. I was like talking to my therapist about that. Sorry to bring up my therapist this early in the podcast.
No, we love it. This is the entire podcast. It's decor and a slow spiral to the bottom. This is the lady journey.
I've been so I've kind of been avoiding my therapist a lot lately because he bums me out, because I'd prefer like not dealing with my problems than to just face them head on.
Same.
And also like I've been with the same therapist for like 10 years. So it's like, what am I going to say that you haven't heard before? I feel like I'm same old song,
Yeah.
But I also feel like we've come pretty far. Like, I think we've done a lot of the surgery is over, we're doing touch-ups now and we're fine. Yeah. But I was talking to him about this, like how important it is to say no. 'Cause like we spend so much time in this job, and I think any job, you're just constantly available, right? You're constantly putting yourself out there. You're constantly having to get back to people as quickly as possible. You don't want to leave people hanging. You have to be available all the time, 24/7. And I'm just kind of like getting to this point where I'm like, is this really even helping me creatively? Like, do I even have anything to fucking say?
Yeah.
I'm spending all my time just really overextending myself.
Yeah. Oh, it's so hard. And then it's hard too, because you don't know which things to say yes to say no to. It's like the priorities, everything seems like it's a high priority. It's like a psycho place to be where you're like, oh my God, like if I don't do this, then am I going to even be able to move forward in my career? Is this the thing?
Right. Yeah. And
sorry,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I only know that I should have said no when I'm doing it. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know until I'm doing it. I'm like, this is a big no. Like, what a waste of time this was.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's like a couple of signs for like, I've started to like locate certain signs for like something I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And like, it's always the first sign is that I go, do I want to say yes to this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, if there's one little part of me that's like, do I want to say yes?
Yeah.
That's generally like a big fucking sign that I always blow right past. But it's, it's the first one that is telling me like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're not like, absolutely.
Should I go out to Long Island? Should I go into the Hamptons for a charity event?
Right.
No hotel, no money.
Yeah. Almost immediately if you don't want to do something, but your body doesn't go, no, your body goes, do I want to? Because it's still in the field that you're trying to work in. So you want to say yes. Your brain
overrides your intuition.
Yes. Yeah.
What are your other tips?
I mean,
saying no.
There's always like several emails leading up to it. Like several emails going over details that you don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Or like they're like over preparing you to do something that you've done a million fucking times. They're like, we're going to have somebody come pick you up to walk you to the venue 4 hours before you go on stage, and you're like, why?
I've had that with, I did a gig corporate for almonds, some almond company. I think Megan Gailey.
That's so you.
Megan Gailey was like, got the commercial and she was closing it out. And it's for I think it was Blue Diamond. And they were like, can you get here? We need you to do sound check 3 hours beforehand. And I just didn't go.
Yeah.
First of all, I was still working a day job at that thing. You're like, no, I'm not leaving, sound check I can do 5 minutes before this thing, but they were kind of annoyed. But I just felt like it was so unnecessary.
Yeah, I think people don't understand that with stand up, like we show up at the time that we have to, and we'll check the sound. But if you've got a mic that works, you can have anybody stand there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it was like, it's the stand in the old location in the basement. So it was like, even if the mic didn't work, we were going to be fine. And I still showed up about an hour or 2 hours before I needed to be there. But it was just like, you guys don't, this is such a huge waste of time for people. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you come 3 hours early and sit quietly?
Right. Yes.
Like, why? That's one for me is if I will say no, I'll just cut and run on a project or anything. If it's like, cause I used to do a lot of like indie films or like indie sketch, like if there's a hint of disorganization, like in the early stages, I'm like, goodbye. I cannot, because you know, you're right. It's like, there are signs that things are going to be a nightmare, but usually you're like, oh, like, whatever, like I don't deserve to say no because I'm a woman and I just take what I can get. And then it's just like sign after sign. It's like a horror film where you're like, let's go to the cabin. Like, well, what could go wrong? I'll be naked.
Yes. Yes. And it's like, we spend so much time in our career being just like happy to be there that at a certain point you're not anymore. And you're just there.
You're like, this is an utter nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're like, why was I ever happy to be here?
And also, why are you trying to make me feel grateful when you're handing me slop? Like that was what I mean, I was just kind of annoyed with the Montreal Festival because I did the shorts and I got in, but like every email reply, they didn't tell us the premiere until about 2 weeks out. So it made it really expensive to get plane tickets, to book or the hotel. And then the dates that they would give you would be off. And then you respond an email and they didn't respond for about 2 weeks. And then they were kind of rude about it.
Really?
That's always a good sign when people are like, do you mind? I'm trying to live my life and give you no information on an event you're attending.
Yes. Yeah. And then the other side of it is like, you get there and they're like passively yelling at you via text. They're like, where are you? The premiere is in 45 minutes. And you're like, I'm literally 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
And they're like, we have someone downstairs to walk you across the street. Like, okay.
like you're being treated like a hostage.
Yes. This woman was screaming at me over the text. I mean, she wasn't screaming. She was probably just French, but she was like, she was literally like, well, your plane was early, so it's going to be 20 minutes before the ride gets there. And I was like, no, my plane was on time. And she goes, okay. And since your plane was early, and I just kept going back and forth with her. I was like, again, my plane wasn't early. The driver's late. I'll see him whenever he gets here, but you guys are late. And I was like, I just kept being like, you're wrong. I'm right. And I was like, why am I doing this? I just got here. I literally just passed through customs and I'm in a fight. I'm fighting with someone.
I love that you attributed the French gaslighting to just, that's probably just a French custom, you know,
to be psychotic.
Yeah. I was like, she's probably just French. She's not a bitch. Yeah.
Now, Rosebud, do you have like a self-care like routine that you do on your days off to like decompress from doing 1,000 things, overcommitting?
I used to have like an incredible routine. I used to like work out every day and I would do like a face mask. I would meditate. I would go to a meeting because I'm in recovery. I would do things that like fed my soul. And now like the thing that feeds my soul is lying on the couch and watching really, really bad Hallmark movies.
Oh, love it.
Like I just found a movie on Amazon called My Secret Billionaire.
Ooh.
And it's so bad. I loved it so much. I watched it with ads. And
that's saying a lot in 2022.
Well, I appreciate ads because it allows you to leisurely watch something. So you can go check out for a little bit, go do dishes, and then come back.
Little built-in scrolling break.
Yeah. And I'm never fully like invested in these movies. I'm really just enjoying the absolute horror show that is like what I know what the production was, you know, like I'm watching the extras overacting in the background.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I'm
Theater
like,
school.
yes, I'm watching like I'm watching the leads being like, this is my chance. And meanwhile, they're just like on a production with no budget. And like, it's just reminding me like of everything that I did in my 20s, but it's people in their 40s, like doing the same. And I'm going, it's okay. Like everything's okay. You could still be right here. You know what I mean? On My Secret Billionaire. And when I tell you this is probably the worst writing I've ever, it was incredible. I mean, to write a movie that's like My Secret Billionaire, first of all, you can't have billionaire in the title because you can't afford billionaire sets. Like you can't afford billionaire costumes. The first 5 minutes was just stock footage of like people in helicopters and and like people skiing down a mountain. And then like,
oh my gosh.
And then like one guy in a car that they rented for half the day driving around with like a woman in the passenger seat with the top down. And it's like they could afford one shot of him like driving by.
Like, are there like there's barely any extras?
There's like no extras.
Yeah.
They're literally like he's at a party and there's 4 people there and it's in a mansion, but it's just like a balcony in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And he gets a call from his mom and his mom is like the worst Italian accent you've ever heard. She's like, your father is ill and he's asking for you.
Like House of Gucci.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, it's worse. And he shows up and his dad is like, I need you to go far away for a month with no money. And I need you to don't use your name. And he doesn't ask any questions. He's not like, he's
Mom, I've got stuff to do. Like,
it's like the reverse Brewster's Millions. I love this. I love the whole plot.
It's so incredible. And I watched this like all night. I was truly like, after Montreal, I sat there and was like watching this movie and I was like, this is what it's all about, man. I love these people.
That's my dream. I would love to be in a movie like that. I feel like I am not the type of the ingenue. I would never be cast, but I would be cast as like the less attractive woman who's working alongside her. You know, like, hey, you're really great down on the ski slope. You want to get a coffee sometime? I'm like the less attractive friend who's supportive. Yes. Like I could be really likes you.
You could be like a billionaire's girlfriend in like a low budget film. Like that's how I feel. I'm like, I'm passable as a billionaire's girlfriend if you've never seen $1 billion in your life.
Yes. But I do think that's really funny though, because there is a pressure of doing like self-care, especially for women, of like hitting all the, like doing your stretch, having a salad. Now you can have a little chocolate and now you do a face mask. And it's like self-care doesn't necessarily need to be that. It can just be watching a trash movie on the couch and like resting your soul and letting yourself feel like everything is okay.
Yeah, because I felt like I was getting, and I've noticed this especially like during the pandemic with like some of my friends too, where like the self-love, self-care shit is like, okay, well now that's a job, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's another thing to be mad at yourself for not doing on a regular basis.
Right. Yeah. And it's just a bummer. I'm like, I don't want to sit in my bathroom and tell myself I love you in the mirror 4 times. It bums me out to do that. And I'm just not in that place anymore where that is like necessary, you know, like I already love myself enough. I love myself enough to sit on the couch, do fucking nothing all day and not feel bad about it. So that's
at a certain point you're just like sending a subconscious message to yourself that you're not enough. Like I need to do like my affirmations. I need to do this. I need to do that. And you're like getting into that manic area of like, if I do all these things, then I'll get what I want and everything will be fine. But it's like, well, it never really will.
Right. So. Yeah, exactly. It never really will. That's exactly it. I'm like, I watch like, I used to be like a follower of what's her face? The holistic psychologist.
Brene Brown.
Marianne Williams. We
Pretty
both
much
say different ones.
they're all the same.
Yes.
I love Marianne Williams.
Love her.
I truly love her too, but really only after her presidency run.
Absolutely. Yes.
That put her on the map for me. I said, this lady's got some ideas. She's like, let's pick a national color, pastel. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, yeah. No, that was such a sigh of relief for me, because I always felt when I would read those books, and I've been to every fucking self-care program. I've done, Reiki. I taught yoga. I did meditation workshops. I've done it all, right? I've read all the fucking books. And at a certain point, I just went, I don't know if I don't know if there's that much wrong with me, Like,
right.
I feel like you can read those books if they're helpful to you.
Yes.
But for me, I was like, at the end of the day, I think the main goal is to realize that you're okay and you're enough, and it's not that bad, and everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And those books just made me feel like I was continuing my something's wrong with me. Like,
yes.
it was,
yeah.
kept drilling it into my head, even though that's not what they're saying. I was like, I think I'm healed. I think I've gotten to the point where,
Yes.
healing is a journey. And,
Yes.
and
Journey.
I think I've done the journey,
That's great. No,
Yeah.
what
It's
you're saying,
acceptance.
it makes
Yes.
so much sense too, because it's like, also I do think that there is like an investment in you not feeling good in these like self-help worlds, where it's
Exactly.
like, if I don't feel good, then I'm not going to buy your next book. Or, if I feel like, oh, like I'm good, like I won't keep like going back to like the Tony Robbins, like psycho jumping, like
Yes.
seminar,
Yes.
getting my like
psycho jumping
hit of cult.
Right. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's also like, it's very interesting to me that with the holistic psychologist specifically, she's like got the biggest mental health platform on social media, and she doesn't believe in mental illness. And I'm like, oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you have people who could be struggling with, I don't know, schizophrenia. And you're like, you can heal yourself.
Yeah, where you're like, you're not doing the affirmations. That's why you're hearing the voices in your head. And you're like, no, it's like a chemical imbalance, you crazy person.
Like, just buy my powders.
It's like, and she doesn't, it's like, she doesn't realize how what she's saying could actually be feeding certain mental illnesses in a way that's really fucking damaging. And so I kind of look at it and go, there's so many different sides to this world. Like, you can and should take what works for you and leave the rest. And that's kind of how I feel about it. But now I've also started to look into the parts of it that are like kind of damaging, this in the same way that Western medicine can be damaging.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's all like, once it goes back to making money, you're like using something to make money. It's like, it just seems like it spirals out of control so far. Like, I'll look, for us, for Lady Journey, I'll look on like ladies podcasting groups on Facebook. And it's like, join our email list and then subscribe to our community. It's only $7.99 a month. It's like, well, now you've ruined another thing by turning it into a psycho pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Right. It's like everything spiraling out of control because of capitalism.
Yes.
Not to be a libertarian on my podcast, but
yeah, it's like this whole conspirituality.
Oh, I love that term.
Like I'm gonna use that tonight.
Yes,
conspirituality.
Yes.
Oh.
The people that are like, the yoga moms in the Bay Area that are also in QAnon but don't know that they are.
Yes,
that kind of thing.
They're like, well, who's to say that the Earth is round? It's like science.
Yeah,
Science.
yeah, scientists, honey.